Hello, my name is Isaac Bailey, and I'm 29 years old. I have a wife and 2 kids. Actually, a lot of people have kids, and just like me, they're all caught in the same issue. The British tax us at such a high and unfair amount that we are simply unable to put food on the table for our families. Why don't we just ask them to change how much they tax us? Let's see. It takes around 5 to 6 months to get an answer from them, and they're thousands of miles away. And they wouldn't actually change anything because they constantly abuse the power that they have over us. And yes, some people believe that we should be loyal to the British. But what have they done? They protected us during the French and Indian War, but they're the ones who started it in the first place. We should be a country with the laws that we come up with, due to the fact that the British constantly tax us at such a high rate, abuse the power they have over us, and live thousands of miles away, where we can't talk to them without waiting for half of a year to get a reply. And because of these reasons, I think we should be free. My first point to make is that they tax us at such a high and unfair price. At the time, we were under the laws of the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts. These laws forced us to pay money whenever we bought paint, lead, glass, tea, and paper. From an excerpt that John Dickinson wrote, the Townshend Acts claimed the authority to impose duties on these colonies, not for the regulation of trade, but for the single purpose of levying money upon us. In another excerpt written by Thomas Wheatley, we are not yet recovered from a war undertaken solely for the Americans' protection, a war undertaken for their defense only. They should contribute to the preservation of the advantages they have received. These 2 quotes simply mean that we, the colonists, have to pay the British money because they protected us in the French and Indian War. To continue, they abuse the power they have over us by using unrestrained violence against us. From an excerpt that Thomas Jefferson and John Dickinson wrote, we are reduced to the alternative of choosing an unconditional submission to the tyranny of irritated British officials, or restraining by force. The latter is our choice. This means that we would rather fight back with violence than give up every single right we have and let the British take complete control over our lives, which to me sounds about right. Just to mention a few times they abused the power they have over us was when they passed the Quartering Act, the Tea Act, the Intolerable Acts, and when they not only shot us, but killed 5 colonists in the Boston Massacre. Again, these acts taxed us on paper, lead, glass, tea, and then in addition let them come into our homes anytime they wanted. For my third and final point, the British were over 3,000 miles away. This means that not only can we not talk to them, but when we do try, we have to wait 5 to 6 months to get an answer. By the time we get a reply, we've most likely resolved the problem. From an excerpt that Thomas Paine wrote, to be always running 3,000 or 4,000 miles with a Taylor petition, waiting 4 or 5 months for an answer, which, when obtained, requires 5 or 6 more to explain it in, will in a few years be looked upon as folly and childish. What this means is that we're sending messages and waiting months on end for a piece of paper, which they taxed us on, by the way, so that we can reply and wait another 5 to 6 months for an answer. This is just not the way to do it, and is looked upon as childish and silly in the quote. If this doesn't prove my point, nothing will. To recap, we should be our own country with the laws that we come up with, due to the fact that the British constantly tax us at such a high rate, abuse the power they have over us, and live thousands of miles away, where we can't talk to them without waiting half of a year to reply. Again, some people believe that we should continue to be loyal to the British. However, this is simply not possible. We can't continue to live the way we have, in a constant state of fear that the British will invade our homes, take what they want, and kill innocent people. If someone killed your family, wouldn't you do the same?